to his soul and continue to grant that family peace and patience. We thank all those who labored. We thank all those who said silent prayers for the workers, who made positive comments. And to those who are negative, we thank you for understanding that positive energy would give the results that would silence negative thoughts forever. Today is a day written in the stars of our nation history. It is a day when destiny and achievement walk hand in hand. This bridge we commission today is no ordinary structure. It is a monument of courage, wisdom, and progress. And what significance, what extraordinary coincidence that this bridge is being commissioned on October 5th. October 5th is no ordinary date in the Guyanese calendar. It is a day burned into our collective memory. It is a day that 33 years ago witnessed the breaking of chains and the opening of doors. On October 5th, the People's Progressive Party Civic and the Guyanese people shattered the shackles of authoritarian rule and give Guyana the chance to breathe again. October 5th is forever associated with liberation, the dawn of a new era. It was a day that rescued this nation from economic collapse to political darkness. It was a day when hope surged into the hearts of our people, when dignity returned to our national spirit. And so how fitting it is that today, on this same date, we inaugurate a bridge that stands as a living embodiment of another new dawn, the dawn of a transformational Guyana, a Guyana that is modernizing and prospering. For decades, the Demerara Harbor Bridge, our old floating bridge, served faithfully. And I thank all those who work relentlessly to keep that bridge in service to the people of our country. And we say to you also with grateful hearts, thank you. It carried dreams, burdens, and the daily journeys of thousands. But its time had long expired. Its steel plates grew weary. The bridge became a bottleneck, a source of frustration for commuters, business and families. Delays, breakdowns, traffic snarls, and endless openings took their toll. A new Guyana needed a new bridge, not another floating bridge. What we needed was a modern marvel, a bridge that stands unshaken above the waters, built for today and tomorrow, a bridge that expands capacity, reduces congestion, lowers costs, and fuels efficiency, a bridge that is a lifeline for commerce, industry, and people. The benefits of this structure are obvious and immediate. Every commuter will feel it. Every business will benefit from it. Every investor will take note of it. The congestion that crippled productivity will ease. The hidden taxes of wasted fuel, lost hours, and frustrated tempers will go slowly away. The bridge will open arteries of commerce and industrialization. Already on the west side of the Demerara River, we are seeing the investment in new ports. It will fortify the link between Region 3 and 4. It will give Region 2 a stronger outlet to the rest of the country. Supply chains will flow with greater ease. Goods will move with greater speed. costs will fall and competitiveness will rise. But this bridge is more than convenience. It is more than a transport solution. This bridge is a magnet for transformation. Beyond easing traffic, this bridge is a launch pad for growth. The west bank of the Demerara is poised to become an industrial hub, and this both a gateway and an engine of that transformation. Factories, logistics centers, housing developments, commercial hubs, all will rise in its shadow. It will open new corridors of development, pulling jobs, investment, and opportunity in communities that will flourish in its orbit. This bridge is therefore not just a crossing, it is a catalyst. Even before today's commissioning, you have heard the voices of admiration. Television commentators covering this CPL stood in awe of the bridge's majesty. They were amazed at this structure. And indeed they should be, because what we have built here is one of, if not the finest bridges in the English-speaking Caribbean and the CELAC region. But the admiration of others is not what gives the bridge its true worth. Its majesty is not measured only in the praise of commentators or the gaze of visitors. Its majesty lies in what it proclaims about us as a people. For this bridge is more than a marvel of engineering. It conveys a statement carved in steel and concrete. You see, infrastructure is not merely a physical structure. Infrastructure is also a statement. It is a signal to the world that a nation is ready. And this bridge speaks loudly, declaring Guyana is ready, ready to modernize, ready to industrialize, ready to claim its place in the 21st century of a world economy. The bridge is a symbolism embodied. It is a symbol of the new Guyana. It is a symbol of prosperity being born. It is a symbol of transformation in action. It is a symbol of modernization made real. It is a symbol of inclusion, because this bridge serves all Guyanese, regardless of class, region, or creed. And even before we commissioned this bridge, we made it free of cost for every single Guyanese. Let us remember that this bridge is financed not by chance, but by deliberate reinvestment of our national resources. Oil revenues, wisely managed, are being converted into structures like this, projects that deliver benefits to every Guyanese. This bridge is proof that our resources are not squandered, they are reinvested into the future, the long, long future of the people of our country. And so, my brothers and sisters, this bridge is your gift. It is a gift of a government that believes in the people. It is a gift of a generation to those unborn. For this bridge will outlast us all. It will serve our nation and their children and their children's children. Like the seawalls of the 19th century, this bridge will become a defining icon of Guyanese identity in the 21st century. This bridge is our coming-of-age investment. This bridge proves that Guyana can dream big and act boldly. This bridge is the evidence that the impossible is possible. This bridge is the monument of a nation rising. And yes, let us say it without apology, it took the PPP Civic to make this bridge happen. Others talked, others bluffed and deluded themselves that they could build a bridge of this kind. Then there were those that doubted and delayed, but we acted, we dared, we delivered like only our government can. And on a personal note, let me say this. We could have come back to the exact spot on day one and tell you where the alignment was, because we left the alignment when we were there long before 2015. This very alignment that you see here, this reserve that you see here, that is connected to the Heroes Highway, this was left by our government for this very purpose that it was used today. And I want to remind you that it was during that period that we left this alignment for this bridge, that we also left the project for the hydroelectricity that would have been operational today. It was the very government that left the plans for expansion of all the highways that we are completing today, including the conceptual note on the Wisma Bridge and the conceptual note on the Linden to Lethem roadways. And I recall that when we were building the development from Eccles to Caneville, and we started the housing development there, you have two former presidents of that era here, now Vice President Bharrat Jadeo and former President Donald Ramotar. You remember they took us to the Parliament, and you remember, and I remember carefully because I was the Minister of Housing, taken to the Privileges Committee because they said we stole the land from Gaisuku to give out friends and family. Today there's tens of thousands of Guyanese who own those lands, and it is a new modern highway that passes next to those lands that is giving them the value and the economic empowerment that is so owned today. Today, we overcome all of that because what matters at the end of the day is results, hard work, commitment, selfless sacrifice, and always dedication to the cause of our country and the cause of our people. So let me say, and let me pause also to extend gratitude, deep gratitude, to the contractors, China Rail Construction Corporation, China Rail Construction Caribbean Limited, the consultants, our local team, and all those who are identified, including the Cabinet, the Ministry of Housing, our local contractors who built this roadway that we are on today, all the way to the new roundabout. This is a talent that we have been able to develop in our country. And to the Minister of Public Works, who shepherded this project with relentless energy, Minister Ejel Indar, I say thank you also to you, to the engineers, technicians, workers, planners, and all others, too numerous to mention, from the Ministry of Finance and all the other government agencies. I salute all of you today. I thank you for your patience when I was rather impatient. I thank you for your steadfast commitment. And I know how hard you work. All night, Patrick, all morning. But today, we can celebrate together. All of the staff. And yet, This bridge is not an end. It is a beginning. It is one of a series of infrastructural revolution that will redefine Guyana. Roads, highways, schools, major drainage canals, every plant, hospital, airports, industrial parks, all are rising in every region of this land. We are not tinkering at the edges of development. We are reshaping the nation's destiny. With each bridge, each road, each school and hospital, we are weaving together the fabric of a modern Guyana. And the fabric will be unbreakable. This is what October the 5th represents. Just as it was the dawn of freedom in 1992, today it is a dawn of prosperity in 2025. My brothers and sisters, let us lift our eyes. Let us not see this bridge merely as a structure across a river, but as a metaphor for the new Guyana. A Guyana that bridges past and future. A Guyana that bridges region to region. A Guyana that bridges division and builds unity. A Guyana that bridges poverty with prosperity. A Guyana that bridges dream to reality. The bridge is about crossing into a new destiny. Welcome to the new Guyana. Welcome to the future. Welcome to an era where Guyana does not whisper timidly, but speaks boldly in the chorus of nations. On this October the 5th, let us say it with pride that we have begun to cross the bridge into prosperity. But before I end, there is something important that I have to say. And I want to say this tonight. There are many leaders that has graced our country, not only in the political arena, the social arena, in the economic arena, or in the private sector. In all our country, there are leaders that have shown us true dedication and commitment. And in the coming months, as we unveil all of these magical projects, we will recognize all of those leaders. But tonight, I want to recognize a man that has dedicated his life to the upliftment of this country. A man who has been an advisor, an architect, and an anchor in our development. Today, I want to pay tribute to a giant of our local politics and economy, Bharrat Jadeo. October the 5th, each year is special to him, for it was on this date, decades ago, that he stood shoulder to shoulder with Dr. Cheddi Jagan to pull Guyana out of the economic wilderness. The economy was bankrupt. Our roads were in tatters. The East Bank Public Road was so riddled with potholes that it took over an hour and a half to reach the Mary. Utilities had collapsed. Blackouts crippled businesses. Social services were poor. Debt consumed more than all of our revenues. Guyana was labeled a highly indebted poor country. A lesser soul would have walked away, but not Bharrat Jadeo. He stood and worked to resuscitate our economy, to lift Guyana. A few years earlier, he had returned from studies with a mind sharpened like steel and a work ethic that set him apart. Dr. Jagan recognized him a formidable asset, and he was elevated swiftly to Minister of Finance. Then he worked tirelessly rebuilding the country's revenues, introducing the most generous incentives regime to boost our economy. He did all of this while slashing import tariffs and fighting on the international front for debt relief. Under his watch, Guyana moved from being shackled by debt to standing with dignity. When he assumed the presidency in 1999, it was in the midst of violence and uncertainty. There was an opposition bent on destruction and a subsequent criminal insurgency aimed at toppling the government. A lesser man would have wilted, but Bharrat Jadeo never blinked. He stood firm. He stood up to the bullies. He shielded democracy. He saved Guyana from being dragged back into the darkness of authoritarian rule. He was a strong spine and steady hands. That is Bharrat Jadeo. But he was not just a national figure. He was a regional leader, a global thinker. He chaired CARICOM's agriculture initiative, which was designated the Jagdeo initiative. He gave the world the low-carbon development strategy, a pioneering model that today earns Guyana carbon credits and global respect. He was recognized by the United Nations as a champion of the earth. But long before that, he was our champion, our inspiration, the architect of our modern Guyana we are building. I've known him for many years as a confidant, as mentor, and as a friend. I can safely say he's a brother. But I've always respected his brilliance, his breadth of vision, his commitment to Guyana. Bharrat Jadeo is not a man who craves vanity. He does not seek monuments. He does not need limelight. But a grateful nation does itself an injustice if it fails to honor its heroes. And today, we set the record straight. And so, as President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, it is my honor, my privilege, and indeed my duty to ask you who are seated to stand and give him a rousing ovation. And today, on behalf of a grateful people, I am pleased to dedicate this bridge in the name of Bharrat Jadeo. From this day forward, it shall be called the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. Because great men deserve recognition, because visionaries deserve legacies, because Guyana never forgets its giants. And in the coming weeks and months, you will hear more from me on our giants. My friends, I will not leave without acknowledging, and many of you may not know, but I will never forget. I will never forget the staff of the Ministry of Housing. When I was placed in the Ministry of Housing, when our first task by Bharrat Jadeo was to find 30,000 house lots, I will never forget that we first walked these high dams for 5.5 hours in mud and slush to our necks. The surveyors, Morna Pitt, Dennis Tudor, Omar Narain, Wahab, Taslim Baksh, Shabir Hussain, and all the other staff They were threatened many times. Charges even flowed. But today, we will do it all over again for the people of this country. We would walk that journey all over again for the people of this country. And as we move forward, work is ongoing. The team is already negotiating the Berbice River Bridge. We are working with the Suriname government on the Quarantine River Bridge. Talks are going on with the Kurupukari River Bridge, the Sandhills connection, the Del Conte road link, the Mabura Hill Kurupukari road link, engineering designs for the deep-water port, finalizing the plans for the Wales Development Zone, the Schooner to Parika and Schooner to Wales Highway, the New Amsterdam to Molson Creek road expansion, the completion of the Wismar River Bridge, the completion of Terminal 2 of the airport. All of this and much more we must complete before 2031. May God continue to guide us, and may we continue to work together as a nation in forging a path that will be for all of us, that will belong not only to this generation, but to many generations coming after us. God bless all of you. God bless all the workers. God bless our engineers. God bless the contractors. God bless the cabinet. God bless all of us as we move forward together. Thank you very much.
God's blessings on you, Your Excellency. We'll ask that you remain on stage as we get ready for a special presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to walk over the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge?
Yes, thanks. That's the formal name. You know what's Guyanese, we can call it Jagdeo Bridge. That's all it is.
All right, we'll ask that you be seated as we now invite forward Mr. Compton Bob, artist, with a special presentation to His Excellency. Immediately after, there will be a presentation also to His Excellency. But first, and Compton is going to receive the microphone and tell you a little bit, sir, about the significance of this special creation for this occasion.
One, two, three. Awesome.
All protocols observed. Tonight we've unveiled an artistic impression that captures purpose, standard, hope, and inspiration. This work depicts 3 sections of a transitional and purpose of the new bridge, as we know now, Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. The first phase is, I call it, the daytime. Reminds us of the past, where we came from, the toil, the struggles, the energy we pour into building the bridge and this nation. The middle, the golden, like the golden color lies on our flag. It speaks of the present, demonstrating a winning spirit and an appreciation of the significant effort and dedication of both local and international contributors who have facilitated the access and opportunities. The last phase, the night, points to the future, the direction of the bridge, as we accomplish and work together for great things. Even in the darkness of nights, we will find a way, because the light is already within us, waiting to be activated. This is not just art. This is a testament. This is hope. This is a part of Guyana rising.
Thank you very much, Compton. And now a fist bump there, sealing this very special moment for Compton and, of course, for His Excellency that he will display proudly in his office or at his home. Next, we have another presentation. This will be done by the team of CRCCL, the contractor. And like we did a moment ago, we'll do the countdown. Let's do the countdown together, everybody. 3, 2, 1, and the 3 model of the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge has been unveiled. Also a gift to His Excellency. And we will have the 2 gifts remain on stage while we move now into the presentation. We have presentation of certificates and awards. There are 2 types of certificates. We're going to ask the Honorable Minister, oh, he's already here on stage, to assist His Excellency in presenting these certificates. They are for exceptional leadership and exceptional contribution. And we begin. Our first recipient this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the project manager in the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Patrick Thompson, as we get ready now to present his first certificate of exceptional leadership. And as we have heard throughout the program, the hard work of Patrick. And here he is receiving from both his bosses a certificate of exceptional leadership. The next certificate, we'll ask that you remain on stage so that we'll have a group photo after all the certificates have been handed out. The next certificate of exceptional leadership goes to Project Manager Mr. Wang Ziliang from China Railway Construction Limited. So we're going to ask you to come to receive your certificate of exceptional leadership. There are 2 types of certificates this evening, exceptional leadership and exceptional contribution. We are at the exceptional leadership category. And project manager of CRCL, Mr. Wang Liang, the project manager, receives his certificate. Our third. Yes, he was telling me last evening, Your Excellency, that he didn't get a chance to go home and see his wife. And how many months? You may now, President has just said you may now go home to see your wife after tonight. All right, we continue with the ceremony as we now present or invite forward Dr. Paul Zanole, team leader for Polytechnica, for his certificate of exceptional leadership. Here comes team leader for Polytechnica, Dr. Zanule.
The next certificate of appreciation to be presented to Mr. Lee Chong-yang, Chairman of China Railway Construction International. The certificate to be received on his behalf by Mr. Chen Ji, Deputy Project Manager, China Railway Construction Limited.
We continue. We now move to the certificates of exceptional contribution, and we invite structural engineer at Polytechnica, Mr. Mahmoud Mukherjee, to come forward to receive his certificate of exceptional contribution from His Excellency and Minister Ejil.
To receive a certificate of exceptional contribution, let's welcome the Finance Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Sukrishnalal Pasha.
All right, we have 3 more to go. Don't go just yet, because now we are going to award 3 recipients for exceptional contribution on behalf of their respective teams. Our first award this evening goes to the Honorable Bishop Juan Ejil, who will receive on behalf of the team at the Ministry of Public Works.
An award of exceptional contribution to be presented to Mr. Dong Sheng Li, Managing Director, China Railway Construction Caribbean Limited.
And we've got 1 more to go, and we conclude the distribution of certificates, presentation of certificates and awards. The final recipient this evening is Head of International Business Development, Polytechnica. We invite to the stage Mr. Enia Samasi. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody, as we offer our heartiest congratulations. And for the group photo, we invite Vice President, since the bridge is suitably named after him, for this photo with the recipients, after which we'll ask our photographers to assemble for the ribbon cutting, and we will invite the ministers, government, members of the diplomatic corps and other special invitees to make their way to the left of the stage. That's where the white tent is. We're going to ask that everyone remain in position except these individuals so that we can move to the ribbon cutting.
Everyone else, please remain where you are. And we will tell you how we proceed and which side we proceed on as we go over the
Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge, and we are almost ready to begin the walk. But first we've got the ribbon cutting, and to let you know also that you can expect fireworks as we approach the high span of the bridge. Ensure that, I hope all of your phones still have the batteries, because we are about to begin the walk, but we'll allow President, Prime Minister, Vice President, ministers, members of the diplomatic corps to make way for the ribbon cutting, and then the rest of us will begin the trek across the
Jagdeo Bridge. Short name.
The Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge,
all of you for joining us this evening
just
for the commission
commissioned there by His Excellency Dr.
River Bridge.
Mohammed Irfan Ali. Of course, as we speak, Hundreds, if not thousands, of Guyanese are making their way to the ribbon cutting area and to begin the walk across the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. As you know, this is a 4-lane high-span bridge. The tolls have already been removed from this bridge and will be operating 24 hours a day. You can see on your screen thousands of people walking towards that area. The drums are now playing, and this is really a joyous experience. Guyanese across the country are excited for what is happening here and cannot wait to use this bridge starting from tomorrow. Of course, this is happening on the eastern side of the bridge, closer to the Heroes Highway. Closer to the Heroes Highway, of course. His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, Prime Minister, Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgil, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Mandalal Ramraj, and a number of other senior dignitaries. I see the senior minister in the office of the president as well. But you can see thousands of people walking, the president himself walking, meeting and greeting people as they prepare to cut the ribbon for the opening of the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. Earlier today we saw an aerial salute, 7 aircraft comprising officials from the Guyana Defense Force as well as representatives from the private sector commission. From the private sector rather, you had Roraima Airways, BK Airways, Aviation, and a number of other agencies that participated in that. We also had the Marine salute, where we saw the water salute there in the Demerara River. And just after the cutting of the ribbon, we expect to see fireworks across the sky, celebrating and commemorating the opening of this new bridge. Of course, this is part of the wider celebratory signal here on the sidelines of the Demerara River Bridge. We also anticipate that all the vessels in the river will sound the alarm, honk their horns, as we would like to say, as the Demerara River Bridge will be commissioned this evening. As you can see on your screen, the crowd is electric. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people are marching towards the area where the ribbon will be cut. And just after that happens, the grand walk across the bridge will occur. His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali there, holding the ribbon, just preparing to cut the ribbon. You see Bishop Juan Edgil, Minister Anil Nandlal as well, a number of them there just at the cutting of the ribbon. Of course, this marks the opening of the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge, the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge being commissioned in just a few moments. Thousands of people, you can see people there with their flags flying high, and President Ali, you see his wife next to him, First Lady, Her Excellency Arya Ali, their son Zaid at the side, and of course Ilan is there in the thick of things as well, just at the preparation for the cutting of the ribbon. Of course, President Ali making sure that all things are in place, but you can see a mammoth crowd preparing to walk across the bridge. This is huge. This is huge. A great moment for Guyana that will forever be remembered. If you're just joining us, we're on the sidelines of the new Demerara River Bridge, making sure that this bridge is signaled. President Ali has now taken his son in hand, awaiting the scissors to do the ceremonial cutting. Thousands of Guyanese have marched to the area just to be part and witness the ribbon cutting. Of course, Zaid Ali, Ilan Ali, and Her Excellency First Lady Arya Ali are all there. On the side of the president, you see on his left Minister of Public Works, who was responsible for overseeing this project and ensuring that it comes to fruition. Bishop Juan Edgel there as well. I can see Second Lady just on the side of First Lady Ariali, Mrs. Phillips there, also witnessing the ceremonial cutting. If you were to see the crowd, you would see cyclists also making their way to make that ceremonial ride across the bridge. That happening here as well. This is grand. Guyanese from all walks of life. And now the ribbon is about to be cut. First son, Zaid Ali, is about to cut the ribbon. And he's cutting. And the ribbon is almost cut. And the ribbon is cut. The ribbon is cut. Very soon we should see fireworks in the sky. The ribbon is cut. This marks the opening after 3 years of hard work, tireless work by the consultants, the contractors, the Ministry of Public Works and their engineers, bringing this to fruition here on October 5, the night of October 5. The bridge is officially open and the walk is about to begin. Very soon you will see fireworks in the sky and you will hear the honking of the horns to commemorate the opening of the bridge here on the eastern side, just closer to the Heroes Highway. Of course, the walk has begun. The walk has begun. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali is already making his way across the bridge. Of course, flanked by ministers of government. And the media, of course, capturing this moment for those who were unable to be here as well. Several cyclists are also taking the walk. The blaring of horns will happen very soon. President Ali here, hand in hand with his son, and of course First Lady Ariali there as well. You can see the thousands of people that are following the president here, following the president as this walk continues. They will walk to the other side of the bridge in celebration of what is happening tonight. Everyone is here. Members from every community are out. Parents are coming with their children to be part of this auspicious moment. Thousands of people are making the walk to the other side. A moment, some say, will be etched in the memories of people for time immemorial. If you're just joining us, we're on the sidelines of the commissioning of what was once called the New Demerara River Bridge and has officially been named by His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali as the Bharrat Jadeo Bridge. The Bharrat Jadeo Bridge, officially commissioned here this evening. Thousands of Guyanese are making their way across the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. This is happening now. You can see it on your screen. President leading the charge with thousands of people behind him as they take the walk across the bridge. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali is leading the charge. You can see there tens of thousands of people are walking across the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. Still a surreal feeling. Still a truly surreal feeling. And more people are coming. You can see the thousands of people there taking the walk across the bridge, making sure that they are a part of everything that is happening and soaking it all in here as they walk across the bridge. There are people on the other side, on the western side of the New Demerara River Bridge that are waiting, early anticipating the arrival of President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali and the thousands of people that are joining him on this walk. This is on the western side of the bridge. They are waiting for President Ali here. This is a monumental thing. Outside of those that are following President Ali from the eastern side, there are hundreds, if not thousands, gathered already on the western side of the bridge, awaiting President Ali's arrival. Crowds continue to make their way. Crowds continue to make their way. Following the crowd there, following President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, and more people are going, more people are making their way across the bridge. A truly amazing atmosphere. You're just joining us, we are on the sidelines of the New Demerara River Bridge, of course now known as the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge, commemorating a life of service of the Vice President Dr. Bharrat Jadeo and the work he's done over several decades to move Guyana forward. On your screen you'll see thousands of people walking behind President Ali, cyclists, motorists. They're also following the grand gathering, truly monumental walk. Of course, this walk symbolizes the opening, or marks the opening of this bridge, a 4-lane, high-span bridge, 24 hours, no interruptions, and toll-free as well. Bharrat Jadeo River Bridge, Demerara River Bridge, should be open to the public from tomorrow. The Bharrat Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge will be open to the public from tomorrow. You can see there's still thousands of people participating in this walk, making their way over. As we mentioned, of course, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali is leading the charge with Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgel. Of course, his wife is there with him, First Lady, Her Excellency Arya Ali, their sons, Zaid and Ilan, and a number of other senior government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, and just average regular Guyanese are participating in this walk as well. As we've mentioned earlier, on the western side of the bridge, there are hundreds of people gathered anticipating the arrival of His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. You have thousands behind him, but you also have hundreds of people on the other side with banners awaiting the arrival of President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. I see the Honorable Priya Manik Chand there. She's in front and leading the charge on this side of the bridge. And thousands of people, just take a look at that. Take a look at that. Lights on and making the walk across the bridge. If you are not here, you are truly missing a remarkable moment. People are still going, people are still heading across. We've seen cyclists, members of the Cycling Association, we've seen motorists, of course, and all a significant amount of ministers of government are also joining President Ali in the walk over to the other side. People have their phones out, people have their cameras out, and they are just excited to be part of what is happening here. The commissioning of the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. Western end of the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. On the sidelines of the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. A lot of work happening here to ensure that this bridge came into being. Of course, it's been 3 years of hard toil and labor, of course, headed by the China Railway Construction Corporation Limited. They were supported by Polytechnica as the consultant overseeing the works, and of course, the extensive work being done by the Ministry of Public Works to make sure everything came into being. All of that happening to bring us what we have now. And the fireworks signify the end of that hard work, a celebration after hard work. All of that happening here on the sidelines of the new Demerara River Bridge. Absolutely beautiful. You can see the golden arrowhead flying just on the left of those fireworks. A serious sense of pride for Guyanese, I think. walk across the new Demerara River Bridge, or what is officially now known as the Bharrat Jadeo Demerara River Bridge. As you said, thousands of Guyanese, and even if you look on your screen now, you will see hundreds of Guyanese, if not thousands, awaiting the arrival of His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali on the western side of the bridge. Of course, they are led by Minister of Education, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, the Honorable Priya Manik Chandir, on the western side of the bridge, anticipating the arrival of His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. Taking a quick jog there for a moment, sending some people in a frenzy, but this is the jovial nature of President Ali, sending his team running as they take a fine jog across the bridge. Fireworks continue to go off there as we celebrate the commissioning of the new Demerara River Bridge. There are a lot of Guyanese taking the full walk over, but I must admit I see some Guyanese walking back, a 2-mile walk, 2-kilometer walk. And so some people may not be able to make it, but the majority of Guyanese there, taking the walk across the bridge.
Hello, I didn't say that.
Vou deixar ele dentro.